Good day, everyone. Welcome to Tutors. On today's episode, we are going to talk about the Meandering River deposit. So, the Meandering River deposit is characterized, or let's just say, it's associated with high sinuosity. High sinuosity, which means it bends very well. In layman word, it bends very well. It carries a low of sediment, which means high discharge. It carries a very much load of sediment, and the speed of this flow is low. Compared to the braided river deposit, braided river system, which is more of the mid stage of the river, that one, it's the energy regime fluctuates between high and low, high and moderate. I mean, but for the meandering river, what is associated with is a low energy regime, which means the velocity of the flow is low. So it's just like the way old people, we don't like stress and try to avoid anything that will stress them. So they try to avoid and not try to negotiate or try to meet anything. So that's the same way this mature stage of the river moves. So if it meets anything, it bends, it bends. That's how you see that bend, which is high, which denotes high sinuosity. High sinuosity. Good. Now, the next thing I'm going to talk about is about the activity that occurs on this type of river, on the mature stage of the river. First, we talk about the inner bend. This is the inner bend. The inner and the outer bend. The inner bend and the what? This one is the one that's outside, this one is the one that's inside, inner bend. In this part, this is the inner and this is the what? Outer. So what are the activities that happen at the inner bend and the activities that happen at the outer bend? At the inner bend, we have sedimentation and what? Deposition. Okay, deposition occur in the inner bend, and at the outer bend, erosion occurs at the outer bend. Okay, so as the river moves, it keeps eroding particles here, then some of them are being deposited and transported to this region. So this is where most of the sandbars are being formed. Okay, good. Now we are going to now move into the sub deposition. What do I mean? Sub what? Deposition. Sub deposition. Now, the sub depositional environment we're going to first talk about is the Oxbow Lake. Oxbow Lake. Oxbow Lake. Now, what is an Oxbow Lake? Another word for Oxbow Lake is known as the what? The abandoned channel. Known as the abandoned channel. And how is it formed? The first way in which an Oxbow Lake is formed, it's by avulsion. We have by avulsion, lateral migration by avulsion. Another way is by uplifts. Lateral migration by what? Avulsion. We have uplifts. Uplifts. This is by avulsion, and we'll talk about the uplift part. Now, let me briefly discuss on the uplift. Now, uplift is when the channel changes the terrain. Maybe the channel, the kind of environment that favors this kind of sinuosity, this kind of bend that happens with the mature stage of the river is a kind of terrain where it is not even steep at all. There's no slope, it's not a slopy terrain. So if this river flows into a slopy terrain, what happens? It adjusts and now becomes, so the energy regime will change. If you put something here, then it will move very fast along this slope, move very fast. So the energy regime will change. Normal, the energy regime for Meandering River is low, but along a slopy terrain, what happens to the energy regime? It becomes what? High, or even what? Moderate. So as the energy regime changes, what's going to happen? The former channel becomes abandoned. It becomes what? Abandoned. Becomes abandoned. So it's more, if it's very, very high, it's more look like the early stage of a river. It does not have the shape of the late stage of the river anymore. It's not look like the what? The early stage of the river. The early stage of the river is characterized by single channel. Okay, single channel, and it's very, very straight. Single channel. There's not that bend at all. Okay, low sinuosity. So the sinuosity moves from very, very high sinuosity, which talk about the bend, to low sinuosity where there is no bend at all. So this old former channel is known as the what? The Oxbow Lake. I say another word for Oxbow Lake is what? The abandoned channel. The abandoned channel. Can you see? The abandoned channel. That's what we have here also. This is the Oxbow Lake. This channel that was abandoned. So this is our new channel. This is our new channel. And this is the abandoned channel. The deposition that were deposited will still be there and everything. But due to the change in terrain from a low steep slope to very, very high steep slope, we will have it will tilt and make sure that the meandering river doesn't behave like as it was before, where the sinuosity changes. Now, another thing that affects such deposition is the lateral migration by avulsion. What do I say? Lateral migration by avulsion. Lateral migration by avulsion. Lateral migration by avulsion. Now, when we talk about lateral migration, the very first thing about lateral migration is when something is moving. You know, lateral means horizontal movement, right? What is moving? Horizontal movement of the meandering river deposit. Okay, by avulsion. Avulsion is the accretion or the accumulation of sediment. So you know the meandering river. Can you see the meandering river in the inner bend? There is deposit, right? There is deposit. So if the deposit keeps increasing, if the deposit keeps increasing, what's going to happen is that what this river will not, it doesn't like stress. It's an old river. It's an old stage or mature stage of the river. It doesn't like stress. So it will keep bending away. So a new, can you see? It keep bending what? Away. To keep bending away. This one too will keep what? Bending what? Away from it. Now that's the same thing that is being done here. So you can see the old channel. This is the old channel. So as the accumulation happens, the river what? Bends. So it bends to form the new part. It bends away to form the what? The new part. This is our new channel. While the old channel is known as the what? The Oxbow Lake. So if you ask you, what are the discuss the formation of Oxbow Lake, or how is Oxbow Lake formed? Okay, by uplift. Okay, uplift, which makes the tilting of terrain or something. And another way, it is by lateral migration by what? Avulsion. Lateral migration of avulsion. Good. So we've come to the end of this video. It's a sub-devotional environment. The next video we're going to talk about the crevasse clay sub-devotional environment. Thank you. Kindly share and comment video.